This is something that I never knew would happen on my healing and my shadow work journey, on my spiritual growth. Let's dive in. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new around here, my name is Christina and I help people on their spiritual and healing journey so they can have a more fulfilling and purposeful driven life. So with that being said, let's get stuck in. So this is something I really want to share with you. This is something I was never aware of, and I don't want you to be that person that gets stuck in that. We may go through what I'm about to share with you. We may have to go through this, but this is something that you need to be aware of before you start your healing journey, or even if you are on the healing journey, you may even be there right now. And this is something that I was just not aware of, that I would get stuck in for a long time. So on my healing journey, I began uncovering parts of myself like you do. I discovered that I actually have controlling tendencies because it keeps me safe. I like to know what's going ahead. I plan. I'm very organized, but on the shadow side of being hyper-organized, it's that needing to control, that needing to have things go my way. And if it doesn't, it feels scary. It's the unknown, because I like to feel that familiarity of the known, feeling safe, because my childhood was ridiculously unsafe. I didn't know when the next meal was coming. I didn't know when any love was coming. I was neglected, and so everything was unsafe. So as a byproduct of that, I formed this pattern that I need to control, so I know what's going to happen, so then I feel safe. And so I became aware of this need to control outcome. So it made me very perfectionist. It made me very, I had to organize, just know what was lying ahead. And so when I became aware of this, I realized how much I did do it. And when I became aware of this behavior pattern, I actually realized, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was actually doing it quite a lot. I knew I was an organized person, but I didn't realize it was all about controlling outcomes so I feel safe. And here's the thing that I want to share with you, that I want you to be super aware of. I don't want you to fall into this trap that I fell into, but I do feel we have to go through that at some point. Because I became aware of it, all of a sudden, all I could associate with this behavior pattern was shame. I was stuck in this loop, this downward spiral of shame about this controlling, and I didn't want to feel like I had to control everything. I wanted to let go. I wanted to surrender to the universe, to God, and enjoy the process, because the more I was controlling outcome, the more I would get triggered if it didn't go my way, and I wasn't able to enjoy the process or the experience wherever I was. Maybe I was on holiday, maybe I planned somewhere, and so I couldn't enjoy it if it didn't go my way. And because I was hyper aware of this, I became stuck in kind of shame consciousness, shame awareness, and it can keep us stuck in this loop of shame and guilt and negativity. And the more I was hyper aware of this, I was all in awareness, the more I would see my controlling tendencies to be reflected back to me. People would actually say to me, you need to stop being controlling, you're being controlling. And the more they said it, the more shame and guilt I felt about it. And so I was stuck in this awareness, the shame awareness. I wanted to let go. I wanted to integrate, because we can have all the awareness we want about things, but if we don't integrate that, if we don't do something about it, it can keep us stuck. And because I felt so much shame associated with this controlling behavior, I just felt very ashamed of it. I didn't want to be like that. And it's the same and this can keep us trapped and being more controlling and being hyper aware of it, and we don't actually move through that integrate experiences. We don't change the behavior pattern because we have associated so much shame. So if you've been feeling like there's no progress in your healing, you've done all the work, you've become aware of behavior patterns, but nothing is quite moving, there's no progress, there's no fluidity, you feel stuck. It could be that you're hyper aware and you're still stuck in the shame consciousness, the shame of the behavior pattern that you once operated from. And so this is the same if we are unconscious. If we're unconscious of something, we're still stuck in the loop of operating from that trauma, that behavior pattern through that lens, and we have no conscious awareness of it. So we're just operating from one loop. But that's still, it's the same thing when we're so hyper aware of behavior patterns, but we're not able to integrate, we're not able to process it, we're not able to let it go because we're stuck in this awareness of shame, of guilt. And so it's exactly the same. We're still going to continue to operate from, and I found myself stuck in that for a very, very long time. And it wasn't until I started to actually have positive self-talk towards myself. Whenever I felt the need to control, I just allowed things to play out. And I still get triggered today if I still get triggered today if I still feel I need to control something, particularly when it comes to parenting my son, and somebody does something I disagree with and I want to control it, and just end up getting triggered by that. But other aspects, I've learned to just integrate that, love myself as who I am, as that person, that controlling person. And this is something I want to share with you because I don't want you to be that person either that gets stuck in that loop of the shame consciousness, the thinking over it, playing your behavior patterns, because the more we think about it, the more we're going to see and experience things that affirm that to us, that we are that controlling person, that narcissist, that jealousy and all of that, when inside we're not that. We are pure divine consciousness, we are divine beings, we are perfectly divine. But in the human experience, there's all sorts of imperfections, and it's about accepting that's who we are, and that's self-love, and loving the shadow side of yourself and integrating that. And if you are somebody that is stuck in that loop, or you have been there, just give this video a thumbs up or write a comment to share your experiences, so then we can share all of our experiences together and help one another on this healing path that we have chosen, so we can embody a better version of ourselves. But for now, if you want to go further on shadow work, check out this video next, where I share the ultimate guide to shadow work. With that being said, I'll see you on the next video. Much love.